Good morning, Spurs fans. The morning after the night before. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here in Boston. Lovely sunny day. It does not reflect my mood at the moment after last night's epic cock-up by the VAR official, who just happens to be the same guy that gave the penalty against us in the Champions League final 3 years ago. So has he got an issue with Spurs? It certainly looks like it. As I said before, VAR is a very good system if it's operated right. The problem is there's monkeys operating it, and they're making bags of it every time there's a contentious decision. Why can they not get it consistently right, that it's what is offside and what isn't? To keep the crowd and the team waiting 4 minutes last night for that offside decision was an absolute disgrace. I think it must be some kind of a record. If it took them 4 minutes, it had to be inconclusive. And if it's inconclusive, the goal should have been allowed to stand. Because I remember against our Spurs in the last game against Newcastle, Harry Kane's goal was analysed to the nth degree because he thought the ball might have brushed off Sanchez's head on the way through, which would have left him offside. That was inconclusive, so that gave the goal. Why not do the same last night? It's absolutely ridiculous, and I have every sympathy with Antonio Conte for what he did. In fact, he didn't go half far enough. VAR is the openness for VAR to corruption is absolutely rife at the moment, and it has to be stopped. It has to be stopped. That being said, why can Spurs not play in the first half? We were dreadful again for the umpteenth time this season in the first half. It was only Conte's half-time team talk that seemed to rally them and get them going. Why can't he give that before the game starts? Because, I don't think I can take many more of these first 45 minutes when we're absolutely dreadful. Now, I couldn't watch the match last night because it wasn't showing on the ship here, but I was following Dave and Jack's and Sean's watch along. And I'll tell you, those guys were absolutely pulling their hair out. I had to put the headphones on because the shouts were really annoying the neighbours. So, the second half now, while it wasn't great, it was better, and we put a bit of pressure on. And I think a lot of us have now come to the conclusion that we never want to see Matt Doherty or Ben Davies and possibly Eric Dyer, but that's not going to happen, in a Spurs shirt again. And all of us that have been bigging up Brian Hill can give ourselves a pat on the back. The guy came on to give a cameo performance to show us what he can do, and he has to start against Bournemouth. There is just no other way. He has got to start as a front three with Son and Kane. And poor old Sonny last night, I think he just had one of those nights. Nothing seemed to go right for him, as was the same for a lot of the team. I don't know what the problem is, but it's got to be redressed soon, or else we're going to get a spanking from somebody, So anyway, that's the way. But I've just been following social media this morning, and I see, of course, TalkSport have taken the side of the VAR official, saying it was offside. Of course, we would expect nothing less from them. As of Sky Sports, who went to the nth degree to analyse it, showing all sorts of obscure offside rules, saying yes, it was offside. Jamie O'Hara had a huge argument with Jason Cundy about it, because Jason Cundy wouldn't give Spurs anything because he's a joke. He really is. If that was Chelsea, that goal would have been the opposite tack. The goal was okay, but the fact that it's Spurs, who he hates with a vengeance, and fair play to Jamie O'Hara for standing up to him. Anyway, we've now got 2 matches to come for Liverpool, and they're both tough ones. Bournemouth away is going to be not easy, and we're going to have to make changes because Marseille now has become very, very important, and the intimidating atmosphere down there. Doesn't matter how crap Marseille are; it's the crowd we have to beat nearly as much. So hopefully there's a few changes on Saturday. But Jed Spence, maybe he might even get a game. Hill has to play. Emerson probably come back with Doherty. Longley for Davies. Because Davies was atrocious last night. He was probably the worst game he's played in the Spurs shirt, as was Matt Doherty. Can't keep doing that, lads. Can't keep doing it. And let me see, is there anything else? Big up to the IrishHotspur for the coverage they gave of the game last night. I would have been lost without it. And even though my ears were burning with the shouting and roaring that was going on, especially from Sean, he gets really into the game when things aren't going too well. But no, fair dues. When the goal went in, when Bentancur, sorry, I couldn't think of the name there. When Bentancur scored, I think there was a huge relief. all round when he got that goal, and from that point on there was only going to be one winner, and there should have been only one winner, but VAR intervened again, and that's another day's work. But anyway, onwards and upwards, we're still there. There's a lot of teams gone out of this Champions League, like Ajax and Juventus and Barcelona, so I'll tell you one thing, it's opening up nicely for someone that can come on with a run, so let's hope that is our beloved Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs.